And we're like, boom, we're like,
Let's go. Episode 2, the Shrimp and Moose podcast. Welcome back, everybody.
So, wow. Okay, we're switching it up now. You're Shrimp and Moose?
Always, that's a common mistake I always make. Let's do moose and shrimp. It sounds better.
Yeah.
So,
I technically have a seniority.
yeah.
I have a minute and a half of seniority over you.
We need to confirm that because there's a few different stories. I don't know if we could look it up, but...
there should be something on the birth certificate, but
time of date, birth, yeah.
Because
Time and date, birth.
I did recon. I did recon, and then I gave the all clear. What did you call it? Remember when when we were at Dogtown and when everybody was out playing?
You gave me the signal. Let's go.
What did you call it? I think it was a military lingo.
The green one? I'm not sure.
You were drawing a blank.
Brain fart.
Anyways, Moose and Shrimp podcast.
Welcome back, episode 2.
And so we're still figuring out how we're gonna start everything up. But I think what we'll do first is kind of, because I haven't seen you since the last podcast. Obviously we talked, but I haven't seen you.
I popped in.
Was the pop?
It was a pop in. She likes the pop in.
Yeah. Hold on. Go ahead. No. So I want to start with during the week what happened. So a lot of my close friends know, not everybody, and so right now I'm at a new police department. So I'm working in Tulare, and I started in Huron. Probably a lot of you are like scratching. Yeah, everyone's scratching their head like, where the hell's Huron? But anyways, it's about 20 miles west of Lemoore and near Kalinga. More people heard of Kalinga. Shout out to Kalinga. That's a good nickname though. The whole Huron crowd.
If you're
told me about
if
that
you know
one.
what it means, or if you know Spanish, I guess.
Well, I guess not if you live there. But anyways, from Tulare to Huron, that's at least
45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes. So there was, when I was in Huron, anybody in law enforcement, you always have your frequent flyers, your everyday customers, whether it be, someone under the influence or someone drinking. There's always somebody you deal with on a weekly basis. So there was one guy in particular I dealt with, and I would see him every other week. If I didn't contact him, he was walking around, drunk.
I think I heard a few stories about him.
Yeah, drunk as a skunk. Oh, my buddy, the one you refer to as John Cena. So I'm going off a little bit, but anyways, while in Huron, he came into contact with them, and don't ask me why, but this guy's usually drunk, so he's kind of in a calm state most of the time. But for some reason, this guy, he was squirrely this day. I wasn't there. I just got the story afterwards.
Probably get some fireball.
Yeah. And so anyways, my buddy contacted him, and he saw him, beeline. He was gone. And then the whole time.
Not today, motherfucker.
Yeah. So the whole
shit to do.
So he probably had another 40 ounce. And but anyways, the whole time he's saying, I'm gonna get you. And I don't know if it's like psychologically, but he ended up getting him. So, but back to him. So yeah, I seen him all the time while I was there. So fast forward to this past, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday.
What was how many years or months has it been since you've seen him or had contact with him?
So I left Huron, and then I went to State Center Police Department in 2019. Yeah, 2019.
So you left Huron in 2019?
Yes, April. So it's at least been 2 years, almost 2 years.
2 years since you've seen him.
Yeah. And anybody know that is familiar with Tulare, there's a real big transient matter there right now. They're trying to figure stuff out, but
I think it's all Tulare County. Ever since I moved back, I've seen in Porterville, I've seen a lot of homeless now.
And you know what? Maybe it's because I work there, so I see it more face to face as opposed to Porterville. Everybody they're all in the river.
Yeah.
So you see them here and there, like especially Main Street area, because what is it, the Tule River right there where they stay?
Yeah, that
Off of J Street?
The Parkway, yeah, Tule
Yeah,
Parkway.
so it runs all the way west. So they typically stay there, so they're always on Main Street. But I would say at least 50 to 60% of our calls with Tulare is transient related. So, anyways, we got a call. There was a male subject. He was a male subject asleep by a business. I guess one of the business owners tried to wake him up. He didn't wake up. So it was more of like a medical aid. They were kind of, kind of worried for him. So we get there, and we bug. So also I'm still I'm a lateral, which means I have some years on, but when you go to a new department, you still have to do a FTO, field training program. Yeah, so
Train day reference.
So my trainers, my training officers there, and I get out, and the guy's laying there. He's laying on his back, and he's covering his face up. So I'm walking in and get.
So what's going through your mind every time you get a new call? So I want to know, like, so you're walking up to a.
So depending on what kind of.
Once you get the call, what's your first like train of thought? How am I gonna attack this, or how am I gonna approach it?
Yes, and also in my head, like, you're going over all these different scenarios. Like, okay, I'm gonna approach this guy. He's gonna fight. He's gonna try to punch me. So what am I gonna do? And the funny thing is, I mean, I only been into maybe a few scrapes while in law enforcement, but the funny thing is, like, when you're in the academy, you were in the academy. We went to the academy together, me and my brother, for those who don't know. But they teach you these. Oh, your wrist lock, sir. Come here. Oh, he's resisting. I'm getting that wrist lock. I'm gonna turn it.
This is gonna work.
Yeah, exactly. And this isn't working. I'm going to this. No. Me and my brother, we wrestled, played football, and so my muscle memory is if someone's gonna fight me, I'm not thinking wrist lock. Someone's trying to take my head off, I'm gonna use what I know. I'm gonna wrap you up. I'm gonna take you down.
Or two piece. Can you do two pieces?
You can, because I mean, if someone's gonna fight you, if someone's trying to hurt you, then you use the necessary force to affect the arrest. So in that sense, I can use my baton pepper spray, but that could pose more of a threat than me. Say I punch him, he gets knocked out, and that's it. Then everything's done with. So that's the level of force was,
justified.
Yes, and also relatively quick, as opposed to I hit him with a baton, break his arm, his leg, pepper spray, maybe has a reaction, doesn't.
Yeah.
It's just easier, but you can, depending on what they're doing, you can, use strikes. People call them distraction strikes, but if you're punching somebody, you're punching.
So when you're walking in, you're thinking worst case scenario.
Exactly. What was that? Who told us? Plan for the worst, hope for the best.
Yeah.
So in all these situations, my first thought in my brain is, this guy's gonna try to hurt me. What am I gonna do? And then after that, okay, remember what's the nature of the call? The nature of the call was he wasn't responding. So next thing I'm thinking is, okay, medical aid. So I'm gonna have to do CPR, whatever it may be. So, anyways, that's what goes through my head. Always worst case scenario. What happens if this happens? This happens. So it's always you want officer safety first and foremost. So that's what I think about. And so anyway, so I'm getting up there, walking up, and the guy's laying on his back. He has his face covered. I go, okay, he's all right, because I see him moving a little bit. He's kind of moving around, and so then I go, hey, go to get up. You all right? What's going on? And then I tap his foot, and as I tap his foot, he moves his hands, kind of stretches out because he's just waking up, and I look. I go, what the hell? And it's the same guy from Huron.
2 years later.
2 years later. I say, what the hell are you doing here? And he's an everyday user, so I don't know if it's mental health issues or it's mental health issues due to the drug abuse, but he recognized me and gave me kind of like a grin, like, hey, what's going on?
I know you motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. And so he was okay. He had some other stuff going on, some paraphernalia. So he was hooked, and we took him. But it's just, and then how I was saying, it'd be I guess somewhat interesting to me. The way my brain thinks is like, okay, so in Huron, when it's Fresno County, so you get arrested, you go to Fresno County Jail, in Fresno, obviously. And his story, how did he get to Tulare? Like, what happened in between there? Like, did he take a bus? Did he go to other cities in between there? Fowler, Selma, Kings. Did he go to other cities and test it out, see what was going on, and then make his way down?
On that, yeah. See, that's interesting because on that topic, I always want. I think I talked about. I told you that I want on a more serious podcast. Maybe there could be a serious episode. I like to sit down with maybe someone that's homeless and not one of these young 20, 30-year-olds that don't want to work and just want to live on the streets and make years. I want to talk to a 50-year-old, maybe a 60-year-old, someone that went through something or traumatic event in their life, and it turned out to make them homeless. I want to talk to one of them and see their whole backstory and see how it turned out from, hey, I'm going to live on the streets and now I can't pay my bills, or now I have to fight for my food or beg for money. Or so I want to see their whole story and see how it happened.
Yeah, and there's a guy, I remember I had interaction with him. It was on Main Street in Porterville, and I had recorded him because I was curious. It was 9 o'clock in the morning. He was drinking, and so I said, "Hey, what's going on? What are you doing?" So he started telling me, "I'm just here drinking." I said, "You get something to eat? You get something in your belly?" He said, "No, this is his first beer, or his meal of the day was a 24 ounce. I think it was
Breakfast of Champions,
Coors Light or something." But anyways, that was what, 2018. But I still see him to this day. He's across the way from Porterville, the City Hall. There's that park right there. He's always there, and he's just hanging out. So it would be interesting to see his story, just because I already have the interaction with him, and then I see him on a daily basis.
Another one as well. I'd like to know, because I see people setting up their tents and setting up whatever they have, and I want to know if they claim stake. So if they have their tent set up, is that their yard or their property per se?
On a legal standpoint, or between
like an unspoken agreement between the homeless people.
Okay, so I could shed some light a little bit on that I know of. So there's certain areas in town that where they'll set up camp. But you have to be somewhat similar. So if you're a thief, you won't be able to stay there. But if say whatever drug,
so there's cliques.
Yes, exactly. So because a lot of them, they want to do their thing, do their dirt, but they don't want to be messed with. So if you come and you're a thief and you want to set up camp here, and so all you do is go around and steal shit, and
they collect cans, and this guy's a thief. He's
exactly. Now you're bringing heat to us to where we're doing our thing, and now
they're gonna be affiliated.
You're bringing static over here. So there's that. But another interesting thing on a legal standpoint, if they're in their tent, you can't just open their tent and go, "Hey, what do you got in here? What's going on?" You have to treat it as a dwelling, just like a house. That's what was interesting when in Huron, I wasn't real savvy about it. I mean, I was still green, and I said, because they're on there's railroad property where they built shacks and stuff, and pretty legit too. One guy had a 2-story, 2-story.
How'd that look?
It looked pretty cool. So
what was it made of?
He had pallets, and then pallets stacked up, and then he had got good plywood for the
second level.
Yeah, second level, and some used carpet, but it looked pretty legit. Sad thing was, he was maybe 50 yards east of another encampment. So, but theirs was like there were just some shacks that they made, same thing, random pieces of wood, pallets and stuff. But the word on the street was that they got envious of his because it was 2 stories, so they burned it down.
Oh.
So it burned down. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, you can't just if they live there and they claim that, you can't just open the door. Hey, what's going on in here? What's in there? You have to treat it as just a house like everything else. So
And then from another homeless person's standpoint, do they treat it like their house as well, or do you think they go in there and just like?
I think it would depend on their mindset. Like a lot of these, because a lot of these the homeless people, some of them have backgrounds of former gangsters, dropouts, whatever it may be, and they still have that same mentality. Well, I run this, or I'm in charge, or whatever. So they might treat it that way, as a son where they'll have respect for it. So, I mean, just because also too, I met a lot of homeless people. They're real respectful with law enforcement and just everybody in general. Like they'll tell you straight up, and you get a lot of good information from homeless people. They know everything.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how, but they do.
And it goes a long way just to treat them with respect, and you get a lot of information from them. But
and then, so what else happened during your work week? Didn't you say there was a crash and you seen someone? Or can you talk about
yeah, I guess. Well, yeah, there was an accident in Tulare, and I did see Sam. She was from Dogtown, one of the originals as well. And it's funny though because or she was there from day one, like, her and her family. Mm-hmm. So, but it was cool seeing like being there and then like seeing people
years later, see how everything developed.
Yeah, so but everything was all right. They were like in a little bit more than a fender bender. I think it was her fiance got kind of banged up, but I saw her dad. I forget her dad's name, but
I think it was Randy,
something like that. He looks good, exactly the same, man. I remember him, the handlebar mustache, everything. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty cool. And then also on that, it's the other thing I was gonna say too in Huron and then State Center. I laughed because I thought we would get busy there sometimes, and when I got to Tulare, that's a whole nother ecosystem, man. It's like you go to one call and then maybe less than 5 minutes later you go to another call, and it gets to the point where you sometimes don't even have time to eat. Well, I mean, you can take a few seconds to eat real quick, but then you're compromising.
You're gonna be backed up on your calls.
Yeah, or do you want to eat, or do you want to finish this report real quick and then possibly get home on time, or only stay over an hour or 30 minutes, whatever it may be. So, but I was laughing because I made because it's always on the go. So, I'll take a protein shake and a peanut butter and jelly. Mm-hmm. And I was laughing because I made it. My Monday was Tuesday. I made it on Tuesday. And I didn't get to eat it till Thursday, which was my Friday, because I was like, well, I'm not going to eat it today. So I saved it for the next day. Next day was the same way. So Thursday, finally, we got it. And then you could ask for your break, but like the way I think is, if I'm going to eat, I'm just going to eat real quick. You know how we eat. Yeah. I can just, boom, we're done. Yeah. So I feel kind of, I don't know, I kind of feel like a piece of shit sometimes. Like I'm taking a 30-minute, 40-minute lunch, and then everybody else is fucking scrambling. They're on the go, call to call. Yeah. I mean, it's justified to have your lunch, but I'd rather just eat real quick and then jump back on the room rotation and get with everybody else. So, but there was that. But it was a good week, man. It was I didn't have to stay over that long on my Friday. I think I got out an hour later than expected just because I was doing reports. But
that's not bad.
Not at all. So. But that was kind of my week in a nutshell. But what about you?
So I started my routine. I started my routine, and I usually get up about 6, and then get everything ready. Well, I get ready, and then I come outside at my own home gym in our studio
/gym.
Yeah. So I come up with different workouts every day. I do a whole list of workouts, and I'll do that. And after that, I feed the animal, help the kids feed the animals. And so one of the highlights of the week was one of my mini pigs, Chocolate, called Chocolate Baby.
Shout out to Chocolate Baby.
Yeah. We had some leftover oranges and watermelon. So I told Jojo, my son, I said, hey, go give these to the pigs. We have 3 mini pigs, Chocolate, Kevin Bacon, and Vanilla. And so Jojo goes out there, and then he runs back inside and says there's little pigs out there. I said, what? He's like, yeah, there's little pigs. So I go running outside, and lo and behold, there's 7 little pigs running around. So yeah, Chocolate had her babies. So we have 7 little mini pigs right now. So we've been taking care of them. They're really cool. I like touching them. They're little babies.
Whenever I see them, too, reminds me. Remember the Charlotte's Web?
Yeah.
The
Yes.
pigs, that, and then that other movie, was it Babe?
Babe. Yeah.
Baram She be true.
Yeah. So we've been doing that all week, just monitoring them, making sure they're okay.
Did you get my vest? Or you got my vest?
Yeah, I got the vest and the hat.
Alright.
They made me sign for it.
That's forgery?
No, I signed my name.
Oh.
They didn't say who did what sign. What signature.
Anywho.
What's the sign?
Go ahead.
And then, yeah. Oh, they've been going on bike rides. I've been doing about 9 miles. So it's a nice cruise if you're familiar with the. I go through Pleasant Oak, through Globe, all the way around 190. Then I hit the Eagle Feather, then do the loop, and then go back on Pleasant Oak, and then behind.
And it's all like uphill or down? What is it?
It's a different variation. So there's uphill, downhill, moderate, whatever you want. And it's a nice cruise. It's nice scenery, mountains, everything around you.
What happened with that one bike you were looking at, that Specialized? Did that fall through, or what happened?
I was supposed to go. I didn't have time to go look at it, and so I didn't go. I might go this week, check it out. If it's still available, I'm gonna go check it out this week.
Shit, I mean, if you see a Specialized for a few $100, they're gonna go quick. So, go ahead.
It's still there. I don't know.
Maybe.
And then another funny thing for you to have kids, Johnny Cash, my youngest, he was trying to figure out for the first hour, he was trying to figure out where these pigs came from. And he couldn't wrap his mind around. He's like, how'd they get here? He didn't know. He asked if I bought them. Yeah, and then so he couldn't figure it out for the life of him. So then he just left it alone. And then I was taking Dylan and JoJo to football practice. And Sienna, all my kids were with me, so we're driving together. So it was funny. It was freaking funny. So he he was in the car. So he's like, Dad. I was like, what? He's all, did you get Chocolate pregnant? So he's a 3-year-old. After we laughed for about 5 minutes, I said, no, Kevin Bacon did. But he's 3, so he doesn't really know the.
I'm not looking forward to that conversation. I have 3 girls myself. So.
Yeah, so he's. Yeah.
Oh, another funny thing, because you were saying about the names. One of my former coworkers, one of her friends had pigs too. Her name was Cardi P.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about it. Fresno yesterday, football games. JoJo made a touchdown, 60 yards.
Oh, Little Emmett Smith.
First round draft, 2020.
Well, sounds like you got a busy week too. But, another thing, that 4x48 is coming up.
Oh yeah.
So those of you who don't know, it's 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. And we did it last year, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if I want to do it while I'm training, just because I got to focus on that, and then we got this going on. So I don't know. We might end up doing it.
We're gonna do it.
No, we might end up doing it on the anniversary date where they always do it. But if not, we're gonna do it. But the days might be altered. But what was our plan? We're gonna stay in here, huh?
I have a cot. I go a military cot, and we're gonna stay in the studio for 48 hours. We have a little fridge, TV. We have a whole little setup in here. Yeah. It's like pretty much a studio. Yeah. And we're gonna stay in here for the 48 hours, and just every 4 hours, just go run.
Kayla hated me after that day.
Why is that?
I remember because we're gonna go eat, and I said, well, hold on, because I have to go run 4 miles in 30 minutes. She's like, oh, meet me over there. So the cool thing about Porterville though is like everything's kind of pretty close. Mm-hmm. Like the main street from my house is like 2 miles.
Yeah.
So everything's pretty close. So you could kind of just
You can make so much routes.
Yeah,
there,
you
too.
can route your run around where you're gonna go. So
Yeah.
but
I remember last year when I was doing it, I was still in Kentucky. I was in the military, and one of my buddies, Sergeant Petway, shout out to him. He seen me on Monday. He's all, "Yeah, I seen your Facebook, and you just kept posting, running again." Like, God damn, what's wrong with this guy?
and I remember we had to kind of clarify it because we
Yeah.
kept putting out, I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? Put what it is because we did kept posting to kind of keep each
Every
other
4 hours, yeah,
to keep
make
each other
sure-
accountable. Yeah.
Yes.
But we kind of, I wouldn't say we cheated, but we ended up
Oh,
instead
yes.
of waiting because I had to work that next day, so I needed somewhat
yeah,
of a
we had to
rest.
work on Monday, and it's supposed to. We start Friday night. You finish Sunday.
We started Friday at 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
and then we were gonna finish
It would be finished at 8.
on Sunday. Wasn't it Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday 8.
So we said, you know what? I'm gonna knock out. I think it was about noon, maybe about 10 a.m. noon on Sunday morning. I said, you know what? Let's just knock it out, dude.
Yeah.
So I think I did 4. I took like a 30-minute break, did another 4, and we just knocked it out.
I
from
went
there.
to Flipper Field, right? Natcher is. Everyone knows in Kentucky, or Fort Knox knows that one.
Are you doing the side look to the camera like Jim
Jim.
from The Office? What is that?
Oh yeah.
You look like, but you look more like Dwight when he was impersonating Jim, like that look you did.
But I did at 4 p.m. I did 8 miles around there, and then I called it done.
Yeah, it definitely tests you because I remember I was like, because I think you kept showering, right?
After every run, cool, because where I was at, it was freaking cold, so you had to have.
What was the temperature
It was
roughly?
It was in the 30s, high 30s, low 40s. So it wasn't freezing, but it was pretty freaking cold.
Yeah.
And so I would suit up, get a hoodie on, and I'll go running. So obviously I was sweaty because after you run a couple miles, you start getting pretty hot. And then so I'd jump in the shower, jump in bed. That was in the later runs, and then in the morning time I'd try to. I think I just watched TV or something.
I just passed out, dude.
I just lounged pretty much for those 48 hours.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, the best runs were the midnight and the 4 a.m. runs, because it was nobody was out and you felt like no one else is doing this shit.
Yeah.
Well, at least the midnight run.
Yeah. So today, what, Sunday? Remate day.
Remate,
I think we're
flea
gonna.
market.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the Tulare one later on today.
They have beers over there. I think they let you drink and walk around.
Yeah, remember Uncle Juan? He was the first one. He was one of the first ones who took us over there, no? That I remember. I remember going to Tulare with him on the
And
way
Dad.
out.
And Dad.
Yeah. I think so. I think that was more the favorite one because you could drink there.
I don't think I've been there. When's the last time you've been there?
A year ago at least. At least a year.
It's been. It's probably the last time when you're talking about. It's probably the last time I've been there.
Yeah. They were always pretty fun though. I remember the.
Well, flea markets. A lot of people don't. I think everyone should know what a flea market is.
Yeah, I mean it's just
People
like
go sell their stuff.
yeah.
Right.
Why is it?
It's
Why do they call it flea market though? Flea market. Flea market.
If anyone knows, can you put it in the comments?
Yeah. Remate. Does flea market translate to remate? Where'd that come from?
Spanish speakers, can you put those in the comment as well? What is flea market?
Yeah. But remember the first time we went or no? I remember one of the first times was because Pat, our buddy Pat,
Yeah, shout out to Pat, and then
his dad's the one that took us.
Dan, R.I.P. Dan.
Yeah.
I remember he took us, and because people are just selling the random stuff, so you don't know if it works or what. You have to take their word for it. So I remember Dan, he was in construction, sometime I think concrete or something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
And he grabbed something. And he was walking all the way across trying to find because usually it's just in a field somewhere, like in an open area where everyone could set their stuff up. And he was walking across the flea market looking for an outlet, I think it was a drill, I want to say. And he was trying to plug it in, see if it worked before he bought it.
Yeah, gotta make sure.
Yeah.
And you always, and as you're walking around, you could hear the random weed eater or lawnmower be like showing them that it's working. But I remember when we'd go there, we always went to there's a taco truck right there that has the best menudo right there too, reasonable price too, and we've been going there since we were 12, 13.
Yeah, around there.
Still to this day, and they're still there. But the Mate is cool too, dude. We just always go around, walk around, see what they got. You always got to get $1 of peanuts or something as you're walking around. But what about when we got older and we started doing drinking age?
Oh yeah, so maybe we weren't even drinking age, but
We were pretty close.
yeah. So we would. I remember one specific time we were gonna go to the flea market, but we had to have alcohol. So we went to Save Mars. Me, my brother Pat, and then Nico, one of our other buddies. I think he's in Los Banos now. And we went to Save Mart to get some vodka. We're gonna mix vodka and punch
OJ.
or something.
OJ.
Oh yeah, screwdrivers. There you go. And one thing I'll never forget was Nico. He looked at the fifth because there's 4 of us.
No. It was the 750 milliliters.
Okay, so the bigger one.
Yeah.
So it was the medium sized one. And Nico looked at the medium sized one. He's all, "That's not enough." And then he pointed out the gallon. He's all, "And that's too much." But we were about 20, 21, and anyone knows that you're gonna go for too much rather than not enough. So we went that route.
Yeah.
And so we had the 30, we get the.
So what we would do, we'd go to there's a little gas station right there at the corner by East Stat where Pat lived, and we'd get the 32 ounce foam cups, and on this situation we had the vodka and the OJ, so we put in there. But on other occasions we would get beers and we'd fill those up and walk around with those. But go ahead. Yeah.
So we're walking around. I think we just needed a reason to drink, maybe. We weren't even necessarily looking for anything in particular at the flea market, but we're walking around, 4 20-year-olds walking around drinking vodka and OJ. And I don't remember anything specific that happened at the flea market, unless you do.
No, I just remember drinking.
Yeah, so we're walking around drinking, and we get back to Pat's house. Miss Montgomery was gone, his grandma, and he has where he lives. He has his house, and he has a carport connected. And we're drinking, and then don't ask me.
But didn't Junior show up, or a couple other people showed up?
Oh yeah, Eric. I mean Eric on the one from Fresno, maybe.
I don't remember. I remember Junior being there though.
And Junior, little Junior, and at some point in time, someone must have said something about going on the roof. So now we're under the influence of alcohol. We have a ladder. We're climbing on the roof, and we set up chairs on top of the carport. So just imagine driving by, see how that looks. We have about 5 people in lawn chairs on the carport / roof, sitting there drinking vodka.
And we had some tunes going as well.
Yeah, we had some music. And I remember Miss Montgomery showed up, and
if looks could kill, man.
Yeah,
that look she gave us when we were up there.
She looked at us, I'll never forget, she said, "That looks ugly."
Well, I remember, do you remember how Pat greeted her?
No.
So Miss Gurney walks up to the driveway, he's looking at us, and then Pat said, "Party on the roof."
Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Those are good times, though.
Yeah. That was a highlight of the Mate Day.
Yeah. Bless Miss Gurney's heart, though, man. During our party days when we did the phase with Pat, when we would stay at Pat's.
Yeah.
Not even just us, like even Pat's other friends. Gosh, she went through hell, man.
Waking her up at 3 a.m.
Yeah, I remember the one time she had, because they had a glass door, sliding glass door in the back. So a lot of people who have it, if you don't have one of those locks, you'll put a stick or put something on the back side of the door so prevent it from opening.
Mm-hmm.
So where the door was, they had that little doggy door, remember?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Pat, he was a golfer. He grabbed his club, puts his hand through the doggy door, and he starts beating the door looking for that stick that's preventing it from opening. I mean, I don't remember how long we were there, but we were there for a while banging on that. And he finally gets it open, and we open the door, and Miss Montgomery's just right there looking at us like, who the hell's coming into my house? And yeah, so she's been through quite a bit. So.
And then back to the flea market.
Ramadi.
Yeah, so do you remember we used to ride bikes from Dogtown?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, who is it? Me, you, and Daniel?
Martin, Fart got in the mix. Martin, I don't remember if Tony did or not.
Tony didn't make the ride.
Mm-mm.
We're like wild hogs.
Sons of Anarchy.
Maybe. So
without the motorcycles.
So yeah,
and the cool vest.
So I know our generation. We grew up in the '90s, so our generation we pretty much played outside the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Our playground, our internet was outside, and the one big thing, if you knew that, one big thing was a bike. You had to have a bike because that's how you got around. And for us, I don't know where we'd get them, but we just had random bikes. And you'd save them, and you had to piece everything together. So you have a wheel from this bike, you put it on this bike, and just hope to God it worked. And that's how we got around.
Well, that was before. Remember, Mom got us those legit ones.
Yeah, that's when we upgraded.
Mm-hmm.
We got that was I think I was in high school though, or
no
8th grade.
8th going into freshman, I think.
Yeah.
There. But you had the
mongoose.
With
the pegs. Oh, the pegs were the big thing. Yeah, that was the big thing. The pegs. If you had pegs, you were cool because then you get your own rides.
And then I had the mountain bike. What was it? The Magna?
Magna.
Those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
But you always had to prep. Remember when we would prep, we had the bag, you had the pump, and then you always had the little kit.
Yeah,
with
the patches.
Yeah, the patches and that rubber cement that you glued them on there with.
Mm-hmm.
So that was legit though, dude. We went all the way over there. Then I remember Arthur still remembers it, and everybody. We got there and we got to the Mate, and the other thing at the Mate is a lot of where people make their money is they have those the ones in Visalia specifically. They have those businesses where they rent out the parking spaces.
Yeah.
Not rent them out, whatever you want to call it, but they'll pay $3
to park.
And park there. So we get there, not knowing much, and we put our bikes right there, and we're gonna set them up. And I don't know if we're gonna chain them up or what we're doing, but we set up.
I think we're gonna tie them together so you can't take them.
Yeah, or we thought, but anyways, this guy comes. Oh, look like old biker dude, some white guy.
Smoker.
Smoking a cigarette, had a cup of coffee, and he said something, and we didn't really hear him, so I, what? And he comes close, the taco truck! And so I guess he was trying to tell us that's where the taco truck was going to park, so I was like, okay, we'll get him out of the way then. So we moved him, but...
I know Mario remembers that because he always quotes that. It's funny.
Yeah, but we'd go there... But it's funny though, looking back at it now, how we thought it was such a big ride to go to Farmersville. And Farmersville, what, like 5-7 miles?
Yeah.
7-8 miles, something like that. And now, we would just run there now. That's just a regular run. But I remember riding there when we talked about, too, the ramps at the pond.
Oh, yeah.
So, do you remember setting up the ramps in Dogtown, too, though? Would get
Yeah, I think everyone did if they rode bikes. You get the bricks and you get you just find a random piece of wood and you just put it on there. You
try to ramp it flat. Yeah.
You'd always have the guy that would just go slow, go boom, 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 boom. But one time we were riding the bikes to the flea market, and I don't know if other high schools had it, but I know Exeter had it where they give, in sex ed, they give you an actual baby. You remember those?
Yeah, I remember.
So they give you the baby. Yeah, and it's a little key you have to put in the back and turn it. If it cries, simulates that you're feeding it. Mm-hmm. So I had it for the weekend, and so what I did, I got it's like just a regular baby, like a
just like
toy. And so what I did, I duct taped it, the head and the feet to the handlebars, and I exposed the back where you feed it, and I put the key in there, so if it started crying as we're riding bikes, the female, I just turn it.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember? Yeah, I just duct taped the crap out of it, and then we're good to go.
I remember I ended up giving mine to someone in my class. She offered to watch it, and I said, all right.
Well, who was it? Bonjo's wife. I don't forget her name. But
Patty?
Patty, maybe. Is that her name?
Yeah.
That lived on the Dogtown. She offered to take care of it. I don't know why, but she did.
I remember I got a C, so I passed.
Yeah. But yeah, that was one. That was a funny bike ride right there.
Yeah. And then we would ride outside Creek too, remember?
To school?
Yeah, we'd park our bikes right there.
Did they jam us up for something?
They gave us static because something about liability.
Yeah.
Something with liability riding our bikes.
But we couldn't ride them home, or I remember something.
Because they were, I think because something about they were responsible. There was some type of responsibility for them when we got out of school to get home. That liability still landed on them. So something like that. I don't remember, but I remember we did it a few times and we couldn't. So.
Yeah, I remember for some reason we couldn't ride them over there.
Speaking of outside Creek on the way over, I remember I was listening to Pandora, Richie Valley, and so anyway, it mixes the songs up. So one song that came on, "Ain't No Mountain High Enough." So I don't know if a lot of schools did it, but I remember we would.
Fine Arts Night.
It was called Fine Arts Night, and we sang songs. So our teacher, he was later fired.
Or I think they gave him the option to resign, because then he transferred to another school.
Yeah, so he resigned. we don't know what for. We could, allegedly, the rumor was he was drinking. But now that we're older, I could say a lot of
something was going on with him.
Well, a lot of his mannerisms, a lot of the stuff he did is related to alcohol use.
Yeah. So
for example, after lunch, we would sit in the dark and he would tell us stories.
And remember his room, there was in the classroom, he'd go, and there was a back room, and there was a cloth door, so he'd go in there, and then for a couple of seconds, and he'd come back.
Jazzed up.
Yeah, so...
I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah, so maybe you take a shot or something, I don't know.
Yeah, and it has to be. I don't know. I would say yes, it has to be, because you go back there, and then you come back, you're jazzed up, and you're telling a story. Whether it be alcohol or something else, controlled substance, maybe. but anyways, we sang the Beach Boys, so we sang what?
Go back to how it started, so he bring an old record player that has the big records, and he started playing the Beach Boys, and he's all, you guys are gonna learn these songs, and you're gonna sing this at Fine Arts Night. And I was like, what? Yeah, so he's just jamming out to Beach Boys, and we're trying to learn the songs, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so we get up there, and remember we have to have the attire as well. We had
so before that, you had to have a Hawaiian shirt, and you had to have sunglasses.
Huarache sandals too.
Yeah. And our Uncle Tony, we're trying to get sunglasses from him, so finally he let us borrow some. So we showed up a few minutes late, and then we're up there singing.
Jump in and just start singing.
Yeah.
I guess it was cool. I during the time we thought it was cool, but now it's like, that's kind of fucking weird, I guess. I don't know. But they do plays and stuff like that too, so. And
then one thing I won't ever forget was we're trying to get the sunglasses and stuff. So we're trying to look the part, and we showed up a few minutes late. And the next day, if you participated in fine arts, you got a bag of candy. And the motherfucker didn't want to give us a bag of candy because we're a few minutes late.
Hungover.
Yeah. Oh, asshole.
Well. But remember, the reason it jogged my memory too, because Martin remembers. I think Martin was the only one, but Martin, Michael Keller, and them, they were a year older, so they did the.
Oh yeah, so they sang to Miss Brainerd.
Yeah, they sang to her that song. In a mountain high, in a mountain low.
And they were pointing at her. That was kind of weird. I think they still do it to this day, Fine Arts Night.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do, if they sing or what. They might put their own twist on it.
Yeah. They still do a diamond scoop.
Oh, no, yeah, that was a good one.
Diamond scoop was like pretty much it's a huge potluck, and you had to bring something, but you had to pay a diamond scoop, hence the name. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, there was a big turnout. Everyone would show up. All the moms would bring their macaroni and cheese, their freaking lasagna. Oh man, meatloaf, everything was good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of good memories over there outside Creek. I want to go back and just go check it out, just to see how everything is now.
Mm-hmm.
It was a cool little school, man.
Oh, and then something I was telling the kids yesterday. So nowadays everyone has. Well, I think there was always back then they had elementary school and middle school.
That normally that's how it is.
Yeah.
'Cause I think it goes up to what, 6th?
5th or 6th.
And then you go to a junior high, is what
Yeah.
they call it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was telling the kids that we had kindergarten through 8th grade. So when, I don't know if you did, but when I got to high school, I didn't know they didn't do recess anymore. I was like, where the fuck's the balls?
Sir, is it recess?
Yeah. I was like, where's the hopscotch? Jump ropes? I didn't know that. So going to high school, it didn't prepare us. So.
Well, they didn't prepare us for a lot. I mean, you got like the bare minimum there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was hard because, like you're saying, you start, kindergarten first is in one class. 2nd, 3rd, you're in one class. All the way up till you get to 8th. Once you get to 8th grade, you're by yourself, so you have your own class.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got it. You were getting, you got that one-on-one in that when you're in 8th grade, but all the way up leading up to there, you're splitting it. So, and it's a lot on the teachers too, man, because you're teaching 2 different grades at one time. So it's like,
Yeah.
hey, you guys are doing this. All right, now it's your guys' turn. You guys do this.
Yeah.
So, but.
And they had the smart kids, so towards the end of school, it was about what, 1 to 3. The smart kids, so if you were in 6th or 7th grade and you're pretty smart, you'd go to the 8th grade class. You remember that?
I don't.
They'd go so if they were covering math or something about that, like math, I think it was math, and they'd go and they'd do math with the 8th graders instead of our class because they were smart.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
But good old outside Creek, man. But what else? I think that was it. So,
and we'll go back to in other episodes. We'll be back at Outside Creek again. I'm sure.
Yeah. I think too, because once we'll start getting more people on, and we're just, we'll get into the groove of different stories, different topics, and just like you said, we have so many stories. It's gonna spark something else.
And another idea that I wanted to do, we talked about it. We'll do this once we get a few more episodes under our belt.
Mm-hmm.
Is we want to do the where we're actually going and we're going live.
Oh yeah,
and we go to the flea market, and then I want to try to haggle with that guy. Remember that guy?
Oh, you go with that story though.
Which one?
What is it? The
cornhole.
Yes.
So I'm a Minnesota Vikings
and you're an
fan.
asshole, dude, because it was already a good day.
And yeah, so me and my wife were looking at the cornhole bowls, boards and the bags. And if you go to Big Five or online for the 2 boards without the bags, it's about easy $100.
And that's just basic.
Yeah, with nothing on it, just a plain board, and that's it. And so we get to the flea market, and this somehow Visalia, California, this guy has Minnesota Vikings cornhole boards. And how much did he want?
$10.
He wanted, he wanted $10, and he didn't know, but I knew I was gonna pay the $10 if he didn't want to go down. But I love it. That's why I love going there, because you just haggle with them. You see how low they go, and they'll go low. So and
sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Yeah. So I told I said how much, and everyone speaks broken English, and well, not everyone, but the majority of them, they speak broken English, and I know a little bit of Spanish, but I try to stick to English. Yeah. And so I said, how much for the boards? And he said, $10. I said, $5.
Hold on, but you did the...
Yeah, you have to do the whole poker face like.
Damn, that's breaking the bank.
Yeah, he doesn't know I have a $10 bill in my pocket, but I do. And so I said 5, and he's all 7. I said 4. He said, and he said 5. I was all right. You got it. So I got my boards for $5.
God damn it.
That was a steal.
Hell yeah. And like you said, dude, you're a Vikings fan, and to find it a Vikings board, dude, that's a
That's rare. I think me, Almador,
Cody.
Cody. Shout out to Cody. And X. Xavier. He's the only one.
Forget Rudy.
Rudy Banuelos. Yeah, he's Vikings fan too. Yeah, I think that we're only 5 in Tulare County, probably California.
Yeah, that's rare, man.
Yeah, that was a good story.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we want to go live and go and show you guys the flea markets that we go to. Maybe we'll go to a few different ones.
Yeah, and then too, right now it's because like I said, we got a lot of other stuff going on. And for me right now, I'm in training, so I'm kind of focusing on one thing, getting past training, passing that, and then getting on my own, because that is my livelihood, and I'll feel more at ease, and we'll be able to do more fun things.
Yeah.
But right now, this should be maybe about another month, and then I'll be done with everything. So
it's just gonna keep getting better and better,
and I feel like the more we do it, the more we'll get in our groove, and it's like we're just.
And I think some people could see like when we're doing our runs, like you're tired, your body's aching, and you're still trying to record. So it doesn't. Your whole full emotion doesn't really come out. You're kind of
you get the
bare
it's like,
minimum.
You know what? Forget this podcasting. I'm trying to stay alive. I'm trying to finish this.
Let's get to the finish line.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And at that point, we put off a little bit more than we could chew at that point. So, but we'll keep you updated on the 4x4 by 48, and then I'm gonna look into another. I want to do another marathon. I haven't done one. I haven't done one since January. The end of January? Mm-hmm. So it's already been a month. So I'm itching to do one. So
and if I get him, because right now I'm using my brother's bike. If I do get another bike, we're talking about I want to do at least, because obviously if you're riding a bike, it's a lot easier than running. So I want to do at least like a 50 miler.
Yeah.
So we could set something up cool, and then we'll have the not the GoPro, but the selfie sticks. We could do recordings and stuff like that.
Yeah. So this was a good one. I think it's a good spot to end right here.
Yeah.
We'll have it uploaded, and we're also still working on getting it to the podcast app. Josh, aka Mr. Bulldogs, we just gave you that nickname. So,
yes.
We'll get with him, and he's gonna help us get it on all the podcast apps.
So when you hear this, Josh, get in contact with me so we get this up
ASAP. And also one thing I want to end it on real quick too. If you're doing something that makes you happy in your life, and whether it be your career or whatever, your social life, whatever it is, keep doing it. If it doesn't make you happy, then fix it. You know what works for you. You know what you want to do. So fix what's not right, and if it's working for you, keep it that way. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, and that's why, I want to piggyback off kind of last week, is that's why we're doing what we're doing, and it's kind of going just as we said, because remember how I told you how if I get somewhere else, another department, we probably won't see each other how often we do.
Yeah.
So it's cool to come here and kind of BS, shoot the shit, and then have this on the back burner as well.
And share with everybody else.
Yeah. So I like it. So, but that's it. Do you have anything closing other than that?
And then one big thing for me is it's never too late to make a change. So if you got to do it today, tomorrow, whenever, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Get out there and do it.
Yeah, and start with little goals. Don't say today I'm going to conquer the world, because that's not realistic. Start with little goals. Start with something small, then work yourself up. Mm-hmm. So again, thank you everybody for all the support, and we're going to keep putting them out. So hope you guys like it, and thank you guys for the comments on the feedback. We like those, because if we're doing something wrong, or we're doing something people don't necessarily it's not attractive or doesn't pertain to certain people, we want to fix it and make it good for everybody.
Yes.
So thank you again, and we'll have it posted pretty soon. Later,
thank
guys.
you, everybody.